I'm thirsty. I would like a drink.
On seeing the bottle, I stretch out my arm and bring it slowly. Now, I flick the top between two fingers and catch.
Forget it.
But the cap is on.
Forget it.
You hold the glass in your right hand over your left leg. I lift the bottle and bring it towards the glass. I turn it and tip the...
You see this cup? And forget about the vase.
You cannot replace the saucer because you haven't got any hands. You had been an enthusiastic amateur musician, a pianist.
You're frightened at the thought of smooth, clean, and shiny objects. Lots of people are drinking tea. The clattering of cups and saucers seems unnaturally loud. You feel like you're drowning. You cannot turn your head. All you see is the vase. You think it might explode as if looking exerted a pressure. You gently take hold of the lip either side of the crack to test it. All of a sudden, you grab it.
He sits. There is something on the seat. Something like a box. It gives the impression of a chair that's too big for him. It isn't a chair, it's a kind of bench. He's been practicing the piano. It's a piano, not a bench. In his mind, he practices at a table. He stares at the edge and imagines his fingertips resting on the top.
The fingers are numbered from 1 to 5, starting with the thumb at 1 and ending with the little finger at 5.
He bought a book on anatomy.
What happened to that?
You knocked it with your foot as you went off. He bought a book on anatomy. Yes, you did. He bought a book on...
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. He bought a book on anatomy. His bookshelves are arranged so that his favourite books stick out from all the others on the shelf. His mother arranges everything. By turning his head, he can pull the books out between his teeth.
I could have quite different hands. A hand something like a fine sponge with a fibrous muscle structure which would contract into a tight ball or divide into fingers. The hands would mould into a form as you tried to use them. There would be problems of immediacy. If you were, say, trying to open a door, he would have to hit the handle any number of times with the sponge before it took on sufficient form to grip it. Even then, you might not be capable of turning the handle. Again, there would have to be a series of attempts, remembering that as you tried to turn the handle, you might be losing the power to grip it.
It was the sister I wanted, but the brothers wouldn't leave. I look around for the sister, but every time I think I see her, a brother pops up right in front of her. Or it turns out to be a brother. They seem to be multiplying. When I turned around, I'm sure there was only 4. Finally, I lose my temper. And in no uncertain terms, I ask them all to go. They all start filing out of the door without any form of protest. I check each one carefully as they go to make sure that one of them is not the sister. Starting with the skeleton, the hands were rebuilt in his mind. Instead of the complex of bones in the wrist, there was a fixed hinge, something like a door hinge. The hands could be twisted by rotating the radius and the ulnar in the usual way, but they could not be waved from side to side. A makeshift system substituted for the muscles and tendons. 2 straps, something like leather, connected the hands to specially adapted muscles in the forearm.
I hold it straight out as a sort of compromise between handling it and seeing it on the table. It's getting heavier. I can't seem to put it down.
I try again and get even nearer.
This goes on for some time.
And then I touch it
an idea
with my finger.
I think it's going to break. So I make it stronger, thicker, and it gets heavier. I can no longer control my fingers. So I strengthen the muscles. I watch my forearms expanding. I feel the power return to my grip, and I squeeze the bars as hard as I can.
I put it back without any problems at all.
I think it might explode. So I make it stronger. I no longer trust the substance, so I turn it into metal.
It's as far away as it ever was. And without even stretching or straining, I pick it up again.
A web of muscles is forming between my chest, stomach, and elbows. I think vaguely about my shirt and jacket. I don't think they've gone, but I can't seem to see them. A network of muscles is tying my arms together. My hands now spring and divide from a single limb. I'm surprised to find them the same colour as the bars.
Without even aiming. It rises in an arc and lands gently on the table. I'm just about to take it again when it lifts itself off the table, comes across the room and into my hand of its own accord.
Why don't you just look at it?
I don't want to look at it.
Go on. It's not going to hurt you, is it? Is it? Have a look at it. Look at it. Everybody's waiting for you to look at it.
I'm standing next to a wall. So close, I can see the grain of the wallpaper quite clearly. I push my nose against it. And then into it. I'm out. It's the neighbours. My eyes, nose and mouth are sticking out on their side. One of them will see me in a minute and scream. The mother looks right at me. I smile. Stupid, really. Apparently, I'm invisible. I might go in, through, and swagger about in their living room. Maybe knock a small ornament off the TV. I'm thinking of sitting between the mother and father on the sofa. But they're sitting too close together. It occurs to me I could sit through the father. But why would the sofa resist me? Why was the floor resisting me, for that matter? Why hadn't my clothes sunk to the floor?
There's a rabbit. Something inside the rabbit is expanding and contracting as I go backwards and forwards. Its eyes bulge and then go back again. The closer I look, the larger it gets. You would think all this expanding and contracting was doing the rabbit irreparable damage, wouldn't you? Doesn't seem to. But there must be a point of no return. This must be the end of the rabbit. Ha! Ugh. I turn and trip. It occurs to me that I could sit through my father. I don't know why. Something goes wrong. I lose all interest and drift slowly out of the window. Not that window.